Buried in the corner of the shed is a piece of equipment that on the surface looks pretty junky, but it has earned its rightful spot amongst all the shiny, nice equipment in our building. It has taken a winter off, but it's time to get it out and put it to use. Everyone, I would like to introduce you to the Old Hag. This is our in-field pivot repair and recovery vehicle. It's equipped with a crane, four-wheel drive, and a mobile workbench/tool bench. While it has a lot of function, it severely lacks safety and any kind of user-friendliness, and today we're going to fix that. We have been listening to you guys' comments and for the first time ever actually put a trickle charger on the battery. So this thing should start right up. An easier way to get up into the cab is definitely on the to-do list.
Checking for mice?
Yeah, I had to do a quick little inspection. Even though there's no cab on this thing, it still reeks like a mouse. Key on. Here's my button. Some juice. This old haggy, now affectionately called the Old Hag, was actually Grant's grandpa's very first sprayer on the farm. We were able to find it in the weeds at a neighbor's farm and buy it for cheap, only $2,500. Grant has very fond memories of riding on the side of it with his grandpa around fields and around the farm. I know it doesn't look like much, but trust us, this thing is a pivot recovery machine, an off-road tractor, if you will. Days at work are not just days at work for us. Every little job we do is helping to remember those that came before us, who worked so hard so that we could farm where we're at with what we do today. And this old hag, trust me, she is around to stay. And the improvements we are going to make are just going to make her even more useful. I have 5 hydraulic levers in here that allow me to operate the crane as well as my workbench. So much easier than doing this manually. I get to do it from the comfort of the cabin here. Lifting a pivot tire is simple as pushing a lever. There's just some improvements that could be made here. It's definitely not the best, but she works in a pinch, and we get in a lot of those in the summertime. Let's get this thing into the shop. Definitely works, but I think there's a lot of improvements that can be made. Whew. All right, now that I'm back on the ground, let's get to work on this thing. Do you come with the cab? You gonna run this thing this summer, huh? Get you trained up right. In the interest of all the safety improvements that we're going to be making on this machine, we are going to be safe while working on it. Isn't that right, Grant? Safety first around here.
Got the proper wrench for the job here.
Ready?
Yep.
That came off easier than I thought.
Yep. Hey.
First unnecessary metal piece off. 40 more to go.
Ready? Oh, there's like. Just keep pushing, don't break off.
Easy enough. There's still some shiny parts on this machine. Oh.
Aha! They're connected. Good thing we're gonna take that off anyways.
Look like a pansy holding this wrench.
Put your back into it. Watch the fingers. Around this metal that I got in my way, it broke.
Yeah, hammer.
Maybe.
Hammer. Hammer.
Yeah, I need to be able to wedge it in there. This metal's in my way. I think it's holding the bolt in place too.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. Does that help?
Yeah.
I'd pull more.
Kinda.
I got it.
There we go. Just barely on there.
Okay.
I think we have some cuts we're gonna need to
Maybe-
make before we take all that off.
Let's put that bolt we just took out back in, and we'll take these off. And we'll just leave these for now.
Old stairs on the back being transferred up here. Before this was used by us to fix pivots, it was actually an old sprayer, and these tubes were used to determine how full the tank was. We have no need for these anymore.
This showed how many gallons were actually in the tank. The tanks used to be mounted right on the side here.
That's the wrong size.
Not being held on by much. Can't believe that's what I've been walking up and down.
Off at the stairs.
We got it.
Pull it on. Right. Right there.
Eliminating our need to make a platform, but making entering the cab much easier. We are halfway through our first safety upgrade. The steps have been moved from back there to up here. We have cut them in half because they are bolted to the four-link suspension. So when we're going through the field, these steps need to be able to move independently of each other. They are pretty secure. We are going to be adding handles up here, but with these stairs, we are able to get directly into the cab. No more shimmying across the bar, much safer. I think some handles right here will really top it off. Place to grab right there. thing is definitely not the peak of safety, but we're going to be doing the best we can.
We got some a trolley and a chain hoist for the I-beam up there. Pretty excited about this one.
We have invested in some expanded metal, and this is going to take care of all of our loose hydraulics that are just dangling underneath the cab. Basically just begging to either be ripped off by something or just eventually worn a hole in. And we've got enough hydraulic leaks to worry about. I think this will solve all problems for now.
We've also discovered a piece of this cast iron gearbox that broke off. We're gonna re-weld that on there. And we found out that most of these bolts are loose on our crane. That's not good. So we are going to go retighten all of this, and hopefully that will take a lot of the slop out of the crane, because that was pretty sketchy.
Moment of truth. Looking good. We are officially stable. I definitely think there is some troubleshooting that we have to do with the end of our crane. I think we've got a few more adjustments that need to be made before we're actually field ready, but things are looking so much better than they were. That is a functional, safe crane. Oh, wow. That is nice. I think the cab is going to fall off before these handles do. Very sturdy. It's nice crawling out. Just like that. Plenty of handholds.
Then you can use that big one to get back to the engine bay too.
Hey, okay. Look at that. That's way better than hanging on to this light up here. Our Haggy project for this winter is complete. We have made numerous improvements, and this thing is ready to go out into the field as soon as we're irrigating. But first, we need to plant. Let's do a quick recap on everything we've improved on the Haggy since it's come into the shop. Our workbench is totally cleaned off and ready to be used, as well as the toolbox, and has been stocked with a few key tools. The gearbox on the crane has been completely drained of all of the water and old oil. It's been filled up with new oil, and our crane has been totally reinforced. It's much more stable now. We have added a cage as well as supports to the underbelly of the old Hag, keeping all of our wires and hoses away from dragging on the corn plants. Hopefully this will make it last a lot longer. And the most significant improvements, in my opinion, have been the ease of use. We have moved our ladder and added a lot more handrails, making it much easier to get in and out of. Just when we thought this thing was done being in the shop, we thought we'd put the final touches on it, it decided to expel every ounce of hydraulic fluid. What a mess. And talk about a lot of floor dry. I feel like you've always told me to use floor dry very sparingly.
Well, I don't know, 40-year-old hydraulic hose just decided to split in half, drain the entire tank. And so you know what? I just went and bought another bag of floor dry.
Well, that's not a bad idea.
Cause.
What a mess.
The oil in this thing probably needed changed anyway. I just would have preferred it ended up in a bucket.
Well, I guess I'm glad it happened here while we were already working on it in the shop and not in the middle of the field. That would have been inconvenient.
And despite there being 120,000 hydraulic lines on this thing, it was actually fairly easy to replace. It just snaked out of there and we're good to go.
Brand new hose, new fittings. So hopefully this doesn't happen again for at least another 40 years. We seem to spend quite a bit of time running to town for things, especially stuff like hydraulic hoses. And with planting season right around the corner and frankly, harvest and kind of every other season around that, something that I've kind of been curious about, especially with our shop revamp and remodel, is what would a setup like a hose crimper, a decent supply of JIC fittings for the shop, what would that look like? Does anybody have one of those? Do they like it? Is it worth it? We would love to hear your thoughts. It's just been a few weeks since we've had this whole bolts and nuts set up, and already I feel like it's saved us so much time. It's so convenient. So I'm just kind of looking for other places that we could improve the quality of our working conditions like this bolt setup has. I won't lie, things are looking a bit messy around here.
We've been busy.
But we've been busy.
We've been busy.
But I just want
Too much time working on stuff.
Well, I just want to be honest that the whole.
If you keep the drawers closed, it looks a lot easier.
Yeah. Well, I just don't want people to think that we have a perfectly clean shop all the time. This is a working place here.
Pretty dirty.
I am in a t-shirt today, but tonight we were supposed to get 8 inches of snow. We're still a few weeks out from planting, but my goodness, we are just getting weather whiplashed recently.
I got a sunburn the other day. It was so hot out. The farmer stand has started already.
Oh, goodness. All right, ready?
All right, see that little hole there?
Yep. So loud.
Easy to get into.
It is really convenient to get into. Still pretty loud. So you have to wear ear protection, but at least it's easier to get into. Watch out for that new tractor over there. Woo! That's a tight squeeze. Made it by. The Haggy is finally done in the shop and it is ready to go to work. Ready for any kind of pivot repair or maintenance that we might have. It was a very good project, but I think we're all excited to have it out of the shop and be put to work. It should be a long season of irrigation, and while I'm not particularly excited about it because I know it's going to be a lot of hard work, I am excited to be able to take you guys along with us for it. 2025 is going to be the best year yet. I'm just speaking that into existence. Thank you so much for being a part of our farming journey.
But it is time to get out of the shop and to work. So we will see you later. Bye.